Hello and welcome to Physics 230 in the summer session at Suffolk County Community College. Physics 230 is the second semester of physics. At Suffolk, we do 3 semesters of introductory physics, which is different from the way a lot of classes or a lot of colleges work it. We try to, in a given semester, we cover a bit less material, but in a bit more detail, especially where the mathematics is concerned. Um, the rationale for doing that is we think you'll be better off this way, as you get to more advanced classes, especially if you're, in the case of Physics 2, if you're looking to take an advanced electricity and magnetism course, which if you're a physics major or an EE major, you're going to be doing at some point later on. But it's the second semester. It assumes that you've already taken mechanics. It assumes that you've taken 2 semesters of calculus. And if you have any issues with that, or if you're not 100% sure, if you're a transfer student and you're not 100% certain that your school will take the credits, check on that now. Don't wait to do that. We'd be happy to have you, but we don't want you, taking this course and then finding out it didn't cover what your school thinks is sufficient. So, just double check on that. If there's any doubt as far as that goes. But it's like I said, it's the second semester of a 3-semester course. It's mostly going to be covering electricity and magnetism. The first chapter is actually the end of dynamics. So we're going to cover fluids first. For some of you, that might actually be a review. But that's okay. And, then we're going to cover electricity, all the basics of electricity. And then we're going to cover, magnetism. We're going to get as far as Faraday's law of induction and mutual and self-inductance. We won't get as far as AC circuits with a resistor, inductor, and a capacitor. We also won't get to electromagnetic waves and Maxwell's equations this semester. That will be that's part of Physics 3 here at Suffolk. So with that, I'd like to go over some aspects of the syllabus a little bit. So again, it's the second in our 3-semester sequence. And there are reasons why we do it in 3 semesters. But again, we also understand it's not what everybody does. So if you think there might be an issue with taking your school, again, assuming you're a transfer student, taking these credits, please let us know. Or taking Physics 2 without also taking Physics 3, please let us know. So the course is online and it's asynchronous. Obviously, that wasn't the intent. Initially, we were planning on having a regular summer class, but circumstances that I don't need to explain intervened. But it's going to be online. It's going to be asynchronous, and asynchronous means we won't be meeting at a specific time, and I won't be presenting a lecture with all of you in attendance at the same moment. What I will do is I will record a lecture just like I'm recording this, and you'll be able to look at it online, and you'll be submitting your homework assignments online. You'll be submitting your exams online. The exams will be take home, and you'll basically have 24 hours to get those done. And so we're going to be working with Blackboard. I know a lot of schools use Blackboard. A lot of schools don't use Blackboard, or then maybe they use something similar but not exactly alike. If you're having any issues with the technology, please don't hesitate to talk to contact me. And hopefully we can work something out. So again, my name is Scott Ginelli. I am a full-time professor here at Suffolk Community College. My email is gianels@sunysuffolk.edu. Again, we're not actually going to be meeting in person, so this is the way you're going to be contacting me. So, please be mindful of that, and make sure you don't lose that email address. The textbook we use is written by Giancoli. It's Physics for Scientists and Engineers. If you're transferring and you have a different textbook, that's okay. The information is basically going to be the same. Just keep track of what we're covering. And you should be able to find the sections in the textbook. The problems we're going to be going over are going to be from the Giancoli textbook. But you don't necessarily need to have the textbook, that particular textbook, in order to solve those problems. So there will be 4 exams, of which 3 will be counted. So the first 3 exams, the lowest of your first 3 exams will be dropped. The 4th, which will be on the last day of the semester, which is July 21st, will count regardless of how well you do on that. So be mindful of that. And the homework counts as 25% of your grade. So the homework counts equivalent to a test grade. So please keep up with that. It's very important. Other factors: consistent attendance is expected. Multiple absences may adversely affect your grade. If you disappear before the end of the semester, don't expect sympathy. And but if there are issues, especially health issues right now, whether it's you or whether it's a family member, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be as accommodating as possible under the circumstances. The exams will consist of 4 questions. They'll be posted at 9 a.m. on the morning of the scheduled exam day, and you'll have 24 hours to complete it. The class before each exam will consist entirely of a review session. So, my videotape lecture, I'll be going over what we covered in class. If you have any questions, obviously you won't be able to ask me directly, but please, don't wait till, I've posted the exam to ask me, questions, or, to clarify something, because at that point it's going to be late for that. So please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. And the asynchronous online format is new for me, as I imagine it is for you as well. So be patient with me, and I'll be patient with you, and we'll work through this together. So this is what the schedule looks like. And so again, we're starting with the last chapter in dynamics, which is fluids. So pressure, density, Bernoulli's equation, Archimedes' principle, which will be the subject of our first lab experiment. But I'll talk about that in Physics 232. I'm assuming everybody, or nearly everybody, that's in the 230 class is in the 232 class. I haven't checked the rosters yet. So that's what we're going to do first. Then 21, we're going to introduce electricity. So Coulomb's law, electric force, electric field. And so that'll bring us straight into our first test, which covers the first 2 chapters. All the subsequent tests will cover 3 chapters. But we'll get to that test fairly quickly. So the second Monday, we'll be reviewing for the first test. And on that Tuesday, we'll be having the exam. And so all the review days are on Mondays. All the exams are on Tuesdays. So then we're going to chapter 22, which is Gauss's law. Chapter 23 is electric potential, and the relationship between electric potential and potential energy. Chapter 24 is capacitance and the energy stored by a capacitor. And that'll bring us to the second exam. So we'll review for that on Monday, June 22nd, and the exam will be Tuesday, the 23rd. And then we'll continue chapter 25. We introduce current, so that's current and resistance and power in chapter 25. Chapter 26 is the last electricity chapter. And that is series and parallel circuits, Kirchhoff's laws, RC circuits. So basically looking at direct current circuits with resistors. And so that's chapter 26. Chapter 27 is the beginning of our introduction of magnetism. So we're going to be talking about magnetic field and magnetic force. And then on July 6th, so after the holiday weekend, to the extent that anything could be considered a holiday right now, but on July 6th, that Monday we'll be reviewing for the third exam. That Tuesday, the 7th, will be the third exam. It's chapters 25 through 27. Then we'll do chapter 28, which is the Biot-Savart law and Ampere's law. So basically the relationship between electric currents and magnetic fields. And then chapter 29 is Faraday's law of induction. And chapter 30, we're not going to go through over all of chapter 30, but we're going to cover mutual inductance and self-inductance in chapter 30. And again, for those of you who are at a different school and use a different textbook, just follow along with those basic subjects. And again, the problems will come from the Giancoli book, but you shouldn't need that specific textbook in order to solve the problems or to do work on the problems. And so then the last 2 days, the 20th and the 21st, will be our review and will be our last exam. So that's the schedule for the semester. Again, if circumstances require an alteration to the schedule, I will let you know as quickly as I know it. Hopefully, we're past the worst of this, and things will get better as the semester goes on. We're all hoping for that, me included. I will not promise that, however, but I'm hopeful and somewhat optimistic that that's what's going to be the case. So that's where we are for the semester, the general schedule. And I want to spend a bit of time talking about the recitation class. So the recitation class is the second class. I basically break the lecture into 2 days. The first day, I summarize, go over the chapter, and then the second day, we go over problems for the chapter. But I want the recitation classes to be interactive. I think that'll work for your benefit, and it'll give you the opportunity to interact with the other students in your class, which I also think will be to your benefit. But I think you'll learn more this way too. So it's going to be interactive. So there are going to be 11 recitation classes during the semester. And so you'll have, I will present problem sets. So, on Monday, I will present usually 2 problem sets, unless there's an exam that week, in which case there will only be 1 problem set. But you'll have 6 chapters or 6 problems that are going over in the recitation, and then 4 problems you'll be assigned for homework. And for each recitation or for each week, the class will be broken into 6 groups. And so I'll tell you in advance who's in which group. And, so that'll be part of what I post. And so between Monday and Friday, you're going to get together in some format, whether it's strictly by email, whether you want to set up a Zoom meeting or whatever. You're going to get together with your classmates and discuss the solution to the problem. And on Friday, one of you is going to post a solution to that problem. Now, here's what's going to happen. So on Monday, or when I post the assignment, it'll be six groups. It'll be the same group for both problem sets, assuming there are 2 problem sets that week. Subsequent weeks will change, will rearrange who's in what group. So you work with your group, and so you basically have 1 problem from each problem set if there are 2 of them. And so you're going to work out solutions. One of you is going to present the solution to that problem. And it could be, I mean, if you need to write it down, that's fine. If you don't have the means of videotaping it in some manner and then submitting it to Blackboard, you can just write down the solution and post that to Blackboard as well. But work together on that. And then, for each chapter, you'll have 4 homework problems. Those you'll do individually. And those will be due the following Monday. So you'll get problem sets for 2 chapters. I'll try to post those over the weekend. You'll have till the following Monday to do those homeworks. So, we'll go over the the lectures and the recitations in in sequence that week. So the homeworks will be graded out of 50. So 40 points, 10 points for each homework problem, and then 10 points that are basically free as long as I know you're participating in the recitation sessions, and as long as you're taking your turn to present solutions to the problems and are actively involved in the recitation, you'll get those 10 points. I do, however, reserve the right to take those points away if I think you're not making the effort, or you give me a reason to think you're not participating, you're not doing the solutions, you're letting other people do the work for you. I do reserve the right to take those points away, but I'm basically trying to give you 10 points out of 50 on your homework. So if you have any questions about how that's going to work, you can email me. And I mean, again, it's because it's asynchronous. It may be a little bit awkward the first 2 or 3 times, but I think we'll get into a flow of it. And the idea is to get you actively involved, not because it means not just because I want you to be able to, I want you to be able to interact in some way, but I think you'll learn more this way as well. So again, if you have any questions, you can email me, gianels@suny-suffolk.edu. But I will send this message out to you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And hopefully we can get this going as smoothly as possible. But thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and I hopefully look forward to interacting with all of you very, very soon.